Hello everyone, this is Xenocidel from Team Plasma here. I'm with Ian Martin, also known as Xaoc in game, and we are going to be dual casting the finals, and this is game 2 of Aeron versus Epic, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So we have Aeron spawning in the bottom left now, as opposed to the top right, as the orange Terran. And spawning in the top right, we have the pink Protoss EpicGamertag.
Now, last game they played on Xelnaga again, but we did see Epic use High Templar and Colossi to great effect against Aaron's Ghost Bio army, using feedbacks and storms very well to pick apart the Marine force. A lot of it, this game, I would expect to see a lot of the same from them. Maybe a little more aggression out of Aaron and try to put a little more pressure down. What do you think?
Right. I think that Aeron will probably focus on one unit instead of going randomly, like we saw Thors and then Blue Flame Hellions and then very random stuff, and unsuccessful drops by both players too, not producing the effect that they wanted.
Now, like we said last game, Xelnaga has got that wide open natural, and the third on these maps is actually very hard for Protoss to grab, because Terran can usually just take the gold and morph it into a planetary, but Protoss usually requires a good critical mass of either High Templar, an air unit, usually Void Rays, or Colossi to take their own gold, just because that front entrance has those flanks where if you don't have at least 4 plus Colossi or enough size storms or something like that, a bio army could just run in there from both sides and pick apart your gateway Colossus army very fast.
Right. It's very, very hard to defend the third base as Protoss.
Now these guys, they seem to like to talk a lot.
Yeah.
But we do see the gas from Aaron. I would probably guess the same thing as last time. He's going to tech up, maybe do a 2 racks expand with the reactor and tech lab, and then Epic's doing the same thing with his gateway and his pylons. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this just because of the positioning, and it's not really benefiting him at all. And if any of the aggression came out, it would just hurt him in the end.
Right. Just like last game, that forward pylon right on the top of that ramp, very vulnerable to early attacks.
Now we see this tech lab. What could happen right now is he could try going a Reaper expand. No, but he's gonna go those fast Marauders again, just to try to, and then he's gonna add on the second rack soon.
Right. So we do not see a stim pack first, as opposed to last game. That's something different. That's cool. Instead, we have a more, at least it's more standard than the 27-minute concussive shells.
Yeah. He might be trying to maybe do a more Marauder-focused play, though I don't quite understand why on this Tech Lab barracks he's switching between Marauders and Marines pretty off and on.
Right. Oh, he's not going to be going for a 2-rack expand, but instead a 1-rack straight into expansion. So this is very, very early. This is like around the time where Zerg usually has their expansion up and running.
Now you see, this 1-rack expand has become a lot more common, but usually it's gasless just because you can get a few more Marines out. And if we actually see a offensive push by the Protoss with a 3-gate, or it looks like he might be 2-gate expanding at this point. But if we see an offensive push from him, you can actually do a lot of damage to just 1 gate, just because they're not going to have the Marine Marauder count they need to be able to hold off a decently force-fielded play. And here he is adding the second racks on from behind this.
Interesting placement. I wonder why he's putting it in the back of his base instead of like where he's putting his third barracks right now.
Maybe it's because he just wants, if they run up, he only wants to see 2 racks, but at this point, the opening's not really, him seeing that second racks isn't going to change Protoss's game plan at all, because he already sees the expansion, so this isn't a 3 racks all in or anything. And all this is actually doing is just making him alone to run for his Marines or Marauders from that second Rax.
He's also getting very early blink as well. He does have 3 Stalkers on the field as well as 1 Sentry, but it's probably not going to be enough without proper micro against these 3 Marauders with concussive shells. And Stim is being vicious right now as well.
You know, blink play has become a lot more common versus Terran, just because you can usually abuse ramps really easily. But this early 1 Rax push with concussive shell can actually do a lot of damage to it, because you're not going to quite have blink yet, but you're going to have that high stalker count that the Marauders can just really tear through before you can blink back with decent micro. And we do see Protoss expanding right now. No, he's not bringing his forces down, which just means that should Aaron want to run up right now, he might be able to force the cancel if he was fast enough.
Right. Now he does, Aaron does have his expansion up and running, while Epic's is only about halfway complete. So he will have that economic advantage. He's also going for Ghost this game as well, so another EMP, proving to be pretty effective against Protoss.
You know, we only really saw 1 good EMP last game, which was against, which was when he ran up.
Right.
Yeah, when he got those like 5 High Templar at once. I really hope that if we're gonna see Ghost play from him, we're gonna be able to see a lot more, a lot heavier, you know, a lot better with the EMPs than he was. This second Rax is just sitting up there producing Marines. He's not putting a tech lab on it, or even a reactor.
Right. He does have +1 attack and armor on the way, and this SCV behind the geyser is stuck because of the supply depot. That's funny.
Yeah. Now, the +1/+1, these early upgrades are very good against a toss, especially if he had seen him going blink, just because usually when you go that blink route, you can only really afford to do +1 weapons or +1 armor.
Right.
But for some reason he's getting shields.
Right.
Yeah,
we've seen this before. Epic usually either gets armor or shield first before attack. I mean, we've seen armor before, but shields is a little peculiar because, I mean, it costs more and it takes longer to research.
Well, it's not even that, though. I mean, yeah, for the Stalkers, it's essentially the same as armor just because their health is the same. But on most Protoss units, the shields are less, which means essentially you're spending twice as much for not nearly as much benefit. Oh, and he didn't even have anyone in that bunker when that happened, so this push is going to do a lot of damage.
That bunker just took out a lot of sentries, and that sentry again being taken out. He seriously wants to go sentry hunting because those energy on those sentries, they're deadly. Oh, this one mule not doing anything. An idle mule. Oh, that's a waste. That's a waste of 50 energy. That's just sad.
You got to be really careful when you pull off probes, though, to deal with these pushes, just because, or SCVs, because you don't want to pull those mules because they're not going to be able to do anything besides sit there and take damage.
Right.
Now, we do see Epic, and he's really not using his Chrono Boost all too effectively. It's nearly full on both Nexi, and it seems he's only really using it to get the shield upgrade out. You know, because he's going this blink, especially with this 5-gate blink double 4s that he's doing.
Yeah.
If he was Chrono Boosting these warp gates a lot, he would be able to get that much higher Stalker count than he has and really do a big push rather than trying to run up against Aaron's force.
We also see Aaron trying to get an early third base. I don't know if that is important. And now a nice EMP, going to be taking out almost all of that army.
No, that EMP was actually a little late on it, just because the Ghost was sitting there, just running against the army for a while. If he had done it right at the start, he might have been able to save a few Marauders and Marines and really kept his army tough.
Right. We do have High Templars on the field right now. Might see some good feedbacks and side storms, just like last game. He is a little oversaturated in his natural.
No, he's very oversaturated in his natural. And then if you look at his main, it has, you know, what is this? It's got 11 probes mining minerals. I mean, the optimal is around 16 to 20.
Right.
So he's missing a lot, and then he has all those extras in his natural, and this isn't really helping him out. And he's also not grabbing expansion right now, which means
Aaron
that
already has.
Yeah, So Aaron's going to be able to really get that economic lead that he wants. And then on top of that, look at him. He's spending all of his Chrono Boost at once to try to get these upgrades out.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't really feel like the 5-gate Blink High Templar upgrade play is really manageable off of 2 bays. I think he keeps trying to force a little too much off of this 2 bays economy.
Right. And at the same time, Aaron is now lifting off his orbital command and building 3 more barracks. So he is probably going to go for very, very barracks heavy play. Not many vehicle weapons, you know, like last game.
Yeah, let's hope not. No, we do see Aaron sending this Marine to the 3rd to go check on it while his main army is getting buffed up at the Xelnaga Tower.
And we do see a lot of... We do see 2 cannons in the front of Epic's natural. Probably not going to do much against Marauders, but it might do... Wait, do these ghosts have cloak on them? No, they don't. So they could provide a little bit of defense, but probably not enough to hold off all of these forces.
Well, no, this is strange. We see Aaron adding on a factory with the tech lab. Could he perhaps be going for Thors or maybe siege tanks to buffer this army? He seemed to like Thors last game, although they didn't really do him much good. And we do see the High Templar going up for the feedback. Oh, they run away. Oh, and he gets a great one, picks off the Ghost.
Wait, I didn't see it. Where was that again?
It was right at the Xelnaga Tower. The Ghost was trying to take out one of the pylons, and he picked it off.
Right. Epic is supply blocked and making 8 pylons. That's a lot of pylons. And at the same time, Aaron is getting a nuke. We might actually see a nuke this game. I did not see this game, by the way, so we might actually see some nukes, and I would love to see that nuke. Because we have not... I have not seen a nuke in, like, forever.
You know, we haven't really seen Epic be very on his army positioning, because he keeps keeping his Templar together and really open to EMP. So we might be able to see a nuke pull off some, like a defensive nuke, pull off a big kill, or even just force Epic back so Aaron can get his army up. Now we do see Aaron sitting outside the gold. Perhaps he's going to take out the rocks and maybe go for a faster 4th. Or no, or he's going to go ahead and try to push now.
Right. And Epic has a lot of zealots. He does not have charge upgraded, but he has a lot of zealots, which are very prone to those Marauders' concussive shells. So either... Oh, he's just getting charged right now, so yeah.
Well, you know, this high zealot count isn't really worth it until you already have charge, just because of the fact that the bio army with a decent micro can easily just stem and move back against it. And with his high marauder count, you know, unless he has some great size storms, these zealots aren't really going to help out a huge amount.
And we see a lot of we see a supply depot wall by Aaron on his 3rd base, trying to hold that so the Protoss does not get in. That's pretty smart, actually.
You know, a lot of pros have actually started doing this at their natural, is one of these chokes they'll wall off with pure supply depots, just because if you need to move out something there, you can just lower them.
Right.
But otherwise, it's funneling, either they're going to funnel them into one easily managed choke, or you're going to see them breaking down your supply depots and you can just sit behind it and wait.
We also saw 2 medevacs full with Marines and Marauders get taken out by EpicGamertag. So that's good about having your map vision. Because that's one thing about me, personally, when I'm playing in the Silver Ladder, I do not get any map vision at all, and I pretty much lose because of that. We also see some nice side storms a little too late there. What was that? A random side storm doing absolutely nothing. But we do have a lot of High Templars. 5 High Templars, never mind, that's not a lot.
Now, if you notice, right before that, this is actually a great move by Epic. He took one of his High Templar and moved it on the right side of that wall by the Xelnaga, and fed back all 3 ghosts, killing 2 of them and damaging 1 of them. Now, see, Aaron keeps up with this with this Raven play, but he's not really putting it to good use, especially when he sees his opponent going the Zealot High Templar mix. You know, it's not really helping him at all.
Right, we haven't seen any auto turrets or point defense drones being used, so we don't know what that Raven is for besides, you know, a mobile detector.
And even then, it's not like he's planning on going Banshees with the Raven, so then he can, you know, cloak once he picks off an Observer. He just has the Raven Stinger, unless he's hoping he can pick off an Observer and cloak some Ghosts to get a nuke.
We did see a point defense drone going down, but doing absolutely nothing as that just got immediately back. Nice, a little behind there.
That last one was a little off, but that the second one that hit right in the middle of the army, that was beautiful. It did a ton of damage, and then we see another few storms coming down on this next push.
And we see almost all of Aaron's army is in the red and the yellow.
But he's done a ton of damage to Epic, so Epic's gonna have to back up now. Now hopefully Aaron can get a few medevacs out to heal up his army. We see him pulling all of his SCVs here. Is he transferring, or is he going to go for a push with them?
I think we're going to see a massive SCV push, because if you look at his bases, he's already oversaturated on... Oh, not oversaturated. Well, yeah, he is oversaturated on his natural, and pretty well saturated in his third, and it doesn't look like he's going to go for a fourth until now on the gold expansion, but wow, that's a lot of SCVs.
You know what he might be doing is, oh no, it looks like he's going to set up the gold here.
Yeah, he's going to set up the gold, but that's a lot of SCVs doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't know why he just has them sitting around, because he's not even using these SCVs to build the gold or even have them mine from the gold minerals. Now we do see an engagement coming up. Man, he did not get a single thing to heal his units, so they're still just in the red. But we see a ton of ghosts here. And a beautiful size storm there, with actually Aaron moving into it to take the brunt of it with his Marauder and Marines.
Right, and we did see a huge EMP on those High Templar in the back, removing them of all their energy. If you look at all the energies there, Epic. All dead.
Now we do see Epic switching into Colossi tech, and we saw him do this last game, is that once he was pretty situated, about to grab his fourth, with his High Templar army, he started adding those Colossi to add even more firepower to him.
Alright, so now both players do have their gold expansion. Well, EpicGamertag is still working on that, but we do have that gold expansion, so we're drawing the line between the battlefields here. This is where it gets very, very tense, because one misclick and you're dead. These cloaked ghosts are going to be EMPing all of those zealots and the High Templars. That's why he's moving them into Archons, because they don't have any more energy.
And actually, with this with the patch just before 1.3.5, Archons have become almost a staple unit in most PvTs, just because the amount of damage that they actually do is just insane versus bio. And then they also are great tanks because they can sit right behind the zealots now.
Right, and you can see all their damage they're doing. They clean up immediately all those units in the red and orange. You can see a lot of feedbacks going down with those ghosts, so you can't clean. This Colossus is still alive, cleaning up all those bio.
You know, the start of that push actually made me a little sad for Aaron, just because he had the numbers he needed to at least hold off the zealots, but he didn't try to micro them back. He just let them die to him.
Oh no, is this nuke gonna go down? Is this nuke gonna go down? It's gonna go down, and oh, all those probes being taken out. Wow. And a lot of High Templars going to be taken out as well by this Cloaked Ghost. He did have an Observer right here. I don't know why he didn't move it. And wow, that was a lot. If you look at the Worker's kill tab, he just killed 20 probes on that gold expansion. That's a lot of minerals lost.
You know, Epic at this point, though, is in the clear advantage, just because Aaron already has the majority of his SCVs as gold. He's not trying to continually expand behind this. I mean, he has that extra expansion, but it's not really doing a huge amount.
Right. He's a lot of oversaturated on his gold. That's why he's getting his 5th base in the right position right now. While Epic is just sitting back and trying to macro up again. We see even more zealots, just like last, a few minutes ago? No, not a few minutes ago. About like 20 minutes ago, where we see a lot of zealots trying. They do have charge now, so they will be pretty effective against this bio ball.
Now you see, yeah, I think Aaron's big problem here is if you look at his money, he's sitting at 2,000 minerals and, you know, a huge amount of gas. Where if he, right now, if he say added on like 3-star boards, few factories, he could pump out Banshees, which are amazing versus Protoss, regardless of his composition. And then the factories, he could add on Thors this late in the game, which would be helpful. I mean, or he could just add a mass barracks and pump out a huge Marauder force consistently.
So we just saw a huge battle, both players losing a lot of units, and now we see a drop in the Protoss' main. And Epic has absolutely no units close by besides these two Colossus, and a lot of units
now. You know, I like this drop by Aaron. He's doing it where it's going to be very difficult for any Zealots to get to him, which is what Epic was really relying on. But these Colossi are going to be able to do a lot of damage in these chokes.
Right, we didn't see him reveal his Colossi until just now, which I think is pretty smart. Wait, did we see that? I forgot if he pushed his Colossi out.
He brought them out earlier in the match. Now we do see the Vikings coming up, but this is just like last game where
it's too
the
late.
Vikings. It's too late for the Vikings. I mean, that's why a lot of Terran have been doing like, oh well, you know, by 15 minutes I want a decent Viking count, just because I'm expecting some kind of Colossi force by that time. Right. Even if they went, you know.
Yeah, we see all of these SCVs that were oversaturated on the gold being taken out at the tip, and at the same time Aaron's going to move all of his army to deal with this. Colossi are in the front, going to be taken out, possibly going to be taken out by the Viking. Nice feedback on those medevacs.
You know, Aaron. Yeah. But you know, I think a big problem with Aaron's play of these games has been that his macro's always been a little off. He hasn't been building quite as much as he should be. You know, because even if Epic wasn't building something during battle, he has so many gateways he can just immediately remax his army.
Right.
And
well, we didn't see
spend
that
his money.
We don't see that many gateways as last game, where he built 10 gateways in his third base. But as I think he's learned from that, because he's actually using his money wisely. He's not sitting on 2,000 minerals, unlike Aaron is.
Yeah. And you know, I think another thing is that Aaron keeps letting him sit in, keeps letting him just sidestorm his army without doing anything to try to stop it. Yeah. That was a perfect example. He just sat right in it. And especially with his high marine count that he has, you can't do that. The second you see that sidestorm come out, you have to immediately move back. Otherwise, you know, you kind of deserve to lose that game then.
Right. And we see a lot of Archons being morphed in. Again, they do massive amounts of damage against the firewall, especially with these this little units. So
no, and Aaron tries to push again with this, which I don't know. I don't really feel like that was a good decision to make. But at this point, you know, Aaron has SCVs sitting around. It seems like he's almost given up the game. You know, there's not much that can actually be done at this point.
Right, and obviously EpicGamertag's not going to be loosening up any less, as you should not do that. You should keep going until the very end, and that's why we see a 5th base going down for Epic on the left.
You know, Epic's done a very good job of continually expanding. I mean, his goal's a little oversaturated, so I would love to see him take the one on the right-hand side. But at this point, it's not a huge deal. He pretty much has this game won. There's not much Aaron can do to really come back from this.
Holy mules. There's so many mules. There's 8 mules, but not going to do anything. And Epic's got this. He's going for that final +3 shield upgrade. It costs a bunch of money, by the way. And wow, completely.
It costs just as much as a mothership, and it's just as useless.
Right.
But you know, at this point, Epic could literally just play around with his opponent. There's nothing Aaron can do at this point to do any kind of damage to Epic. I mean, yeah, he could literally kill all of Epic's mining bases, and Epic would still be able to beat him back.
Epic's a little too overcommitting on his blinks. He blinked twice right into the middle of his army, lost a lot of stalkers there. Could have been a little cautious on those, but either way, he still won.
Well, like we've been saying, he doesn't have to be very conservative with his blinks, you know? I mean, he has the advantage by a long shot. This isn't a close game where that one blink is going to screw him over. No, he's got this pretty much handled.
Right, and what's funny is because if you look at Aaron's money right now, he used to have 2,000, but now he has 68. So that's what happens in the late game, where you just don't have enough production facilities to keep up your macro, and then once you're almost dead, you have not enough money. So that's game number 2.
And look at this, +3 shields was literally a second away from finishing.
Oh, that useless upgrade. So anyways, that's game number 2, guys. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the brackets say 3-0, but there's actually only 2 games because Aaron actually forfeited and left the tournament. So
if you couldn't tell, he was a little mad about this.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm actually pissed about that one. Yeah, so that's that. That concludes Division 2. We'll be casting Division 1 next week. If you want to see those brackets, they'll be in the description below. This is Xenocidel.
And this is Xaoc. Thanks for watching.